Today, the Republican Senate voted to block the implementation of an Obama-era gun control regulation that would have made it difficult for some people with certain types of mental impairments to purchase firearms. So that has now moved on to the White House, and it's widely expected that Donald Trump will be signing it. So yes, there was going to be a new regulation to make it harder for people with certain types of mental impairments to get guns, and the Republican Senate, as one of the, I think the third bill, maybe the fourth bill that they're sending to the White House, they're blocking that because they don't want to stop those people from getting guns. The Obama administration rule required the Social Security Administration to send in the names of beneficiaries with mental impairments who also have a third party manage their benefits. And so that is not some sort of all-inclusive list of people with all mental impairments of various types. It's a very limited number of people who have some sort of mental impairment and have someone else manage their financial matters. So it's a person who cannot personally control their own money. So again, very constrained. Now, the reason that they could do this on a 57-43 vote was using an expedited process established through the Congressional Review Act. Regulation would be made invalid when a simple majority of both chambers passed a joint resolution of disapproval and the president signs it, which of course the Republicans love because they want to make it easier to get rid of regulations. Nothing about making it easier to pass new ones, just getting rid of them. And so as a result of this, the GOP, in conjunction with the NRA, and admittedly some advocates for disabled rights and those sorts of things, were able to strike this down. And it is expected that he will sign it very soon.
Okay, so let me go off on almost everyone involved here. So first, the Republicans. Every time there's a shooting, they say, no, it's not a gun issue. It's a mental health issue.
That's the only thing they'll say. They'll admit maybe we should do something about mental health.
And here it is. On the mental health issue, they said, nah, give them guns anyway. So then never talk about mental health again.
Yeah.
Because you say, well, I mean, look, man, it's the mental health is the real thing. So if we just what? If we just made sure that
just talk about it.
Mentally ill people don't have guns, then that may no. If you're mentally ill, we want you locked and loaded. They're making that. They voted that way. And by the way, it's not just Republicans. Some Democrats voted with them too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you want to talk about mentally ill? Now, really, are you insane? But that's the insanity that this country lives in. So, look, I know they want to sell more weapons. I know. And I know all those politicians are deeply corrupt, and they all get paid by the NRA, and they think, I don't care, your son gets murdered, someone you love gets murdered by someone who is mentally ill. Did I get the check from the NRA or did I not get the check? So that's what I care about, right? Yeah. But think about if it actually affected them. Hey, Senator X or Y or Z who voted for this, there's a person that's mentally ill. They would like to visit your office with a weapon. Is that okay? Now, what do you think their answer to that is? My guess is they go, no. Yeah. Well, what's the big deal? You think people that are mentally ill should have weapons. They'd like to come visit you and exercise their constitutional rights.
Yeah.
Trust me that they're not going to vote yes on that.
And by the way, one of the things that some of the Republican senators tried to hide behind, and I understand why it might be effective, is saying that in having this sort of rule, you are stigmatizing mental illness and perpetuating a stereotype that people who are mentally ill are violent. That is a stereotype, and it's not true of the vast majority of people with mental illness. But this regulation affects a very small number of people. And it doesn't say that because you're on this list, you cannot get a gun. It provides information that can go into the background check process. It's supposed to supplement that process. And the reason it was developed was in the wake of Sandy Hook, where you had this sort of situation going on. This is one of the few tiny little regulations we got as a result of that. The rule hasn't even gone into effect yet. We're talking about a 6-year gap between the impetus for the rule and when it would have gone into effect, and that's almost all we got. And they're saying, well, you're trying to stigmatize, and so that's why, as if the NRA money doesn't matter, as if that has anything to do with it.
No, but it's worse than that, John, because you say it's a small group of people, but let's clarify what that is. And you laid it out before. These are people who have been judged to be so mentally unstable that they cannot take care of themselves.
Yeah.
A third party has to manage their benefits for them, the Social Security benefits that they're getting. So they can't be trusted with money. They can't be trusted to make any right judgment calls in that regard. So they're like, oh, you can't be trusted with a check. Here, let's hand you an assault rifle. Really? Really? And that's what Congress just did. Yes, really. So now, don't your crocodile tears about how you care about the mentally ill. Are you kidding me? No, I don't believe that for 1 second. Now, there are people who do genuinely believe that. There are some organizations for the people who have mental health issues, and the ACLU. And I think on this issue, they are totally, completely, and utterly wrong. So their idea is, hey, don't stigmatize people with mental health issues. But we're not stigmatizing all of them. I don't believe that they're all violent. Of course not. So I unlike Republicans, I understand science, and I understand the data, and I understand what percentage it applies to. But we're not questioning that all those people who need a third party to manage their benefits are violent. Nobody's saying that. We're saying if they cannot make the proper judgments about what to do with their money and other issues that they need someone else to take care of their affairs, then obviously we have an issue on whether they can exercise the correct judgment with weaponry that could kill people. And don't you care about those folks? If I had somebody in my family who had a mental disability and some organization that's purporting to be on their side says, let's hand him a weapon, I'd go, are you insane? Let alone the fact that other people might get hurt. He might get hurt.
Yeah, it could lead to suicide.
You're saying a guy that we know for a fact cannot make proper judgments, that you're going to help him by handing him a loaded weapon? No. It's not the mentally ill that are insane. It's the whole country that's insane. So they were insane on money and politics. I'll take the cash. I don't care who dies. And we're insane on guns. No. Everybody's got to have a gun. It doesn't matter how dangerous it is. Let's just make sure that we lock and load.
Yeah.
And then you're going to be surprised that we have out of control, record-breaking gun homicides in this country. You can help hire investigative reporters that'll chase down stories no one else will. Be the media. TYTnetwork.com/go.